What's up, everybody? All right, we're gonna get into it. No talk back.
Window went down. Don't want to come up. Window want to be ignorant, man. My little brother had one. He wanted to be a prick boy. He wouldn't listen to me. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pop this thing off. These old cheap plastic things gonna do what they do. Old cheap Chinese material, man. This ain't German quality, man. You say it is, but it ain't, because German stuff don't break. I own plenty of Mercedes, so I can vouch for that quality. Look at this old cheap crap, man. So be prepared to order these ahead of schedule. Burglar flashlights you be breaking in people's houses with to take your gloves off to steal a VCR. Leave your fingerprints on the table. Put your old dirty dog paws under here and you're gonna pull forward, man. Oh, see, that was already cracked. Hey man, that old cheap Chinese plastic, man, look at it. Now that broke. Now we gotta go to the old junkyard and get one of those, man. Look at that. Whole thing just disintegrated. Might be able to super glue it, but I doubt it. Yep, be prepared for this stuff to break, man. I'm telling you, man. It ain't quality no more, it's just a name. Yeah. Yep, T15. I let my brother in Vegas borrow these when he came down and he left them outside in the rain, man. That dude right there, boy. So I advise you to start right here in this bottom right corner and just put it in and slide it down and then pull it forward. You know, you're gonna hear a big snap. And every time you hear a snap, it's letting you know, there you go, that's what you're looking for. So just gonna pull up on it and go around, slide it, go around. Because you want this tool to be somewhere by the more ignorant things. Otherwise, if not, you know, you're gonna be in the area with something to break. It. And then you're gonna pull up on it easy. Don't be out here monkey jamming nothing, man. Snatching on stuff and yanking on it, man. It ain't that kind of party. And then just make sure everything is snap free. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna lift up. You're gonna lift up. All right, so when you lift up, this your door lock thing, man. It's gonna fall down. Don't worry about it right now. Just ignore that. And we got more cheap Chinese Taiwan plastic, man. All the stuff gonna break. So once you pry back on this little arrow looking tab, you wanna pull up and back. Up and back, okay? We're gonna do a 360. You gotta disconnect this, look like the winner switch. When you're taking this out on the inside and pry up, and when you're prying up, you actually pulling this out of your visible, like they said on Blaze, the visible, when they sucking their blood, and just cut through that. I'm finna pull it though, whatever you decide to do. You pull on this, and while you pulling, you'll see that old black goo, also known as glue, and then take your little razor blade, just like that. Little 10. They left the window up, then they heard something snap, and then the window would no longer work from the power window switch. So my guess is that it's the regulator, the arm racket thing that let it up and down, but it could be a gear in the motor to. We don't know yet. And so, but we can slide the window up by hand, you know. And it looks like right here you got some funny looking finger thing. So it looks like you lift that up, and then like the window is gonna come off of the regulator. It's this thing right here. All right. So on that little funny looking thing I was telling you about, you're gonna get this little baby flathead, and you're gonna lift up and then push in. You're gonna lift up and push in, and it's gonna come out. And at that point, your window is free to slide. See? It's free to slide. And so what you wanna do then is you wanna get this old sorry masking tape, this window all the way up, and then put the masking tape on it, hold it so it don't slam down and break. Also, don't be a goofy Jay and put tape on a dirty window. All right, there it is. Yeah, we're good to go, Joe. All right. So now we got that window up there. You're gonna push in. You're gonna push these in, and then I'm guessing you're gonna turn this thing and it's gonna slide out through somewhere. So, also before you get started on that, you gotta disconnect the electrical that's going to the window motor. So on this side, on the inside, this little thing, you just push it in, and you just pull back. Push it in and pull back. All right. See, this is all loose now. See how loose that is? Now we're just gonna slide this out of here. All right, y'all, we got this old thing out of here. Now we gotta look at it. There you go right there. See? That old cheap Chinese plastic. They made it at $4.55 in the factory on a Friday, man. Look at it. This came disconnected from this. Motor is good, my friends. This is a new one on the right here. Got that from regulator, man. Only difference is this is clear, this is green. Don't matter who made it because it's broke. I know a lot of y'all saying, man, show me the part number. Show me the part number from old regulator, man, old regulator. You're gonna need a T25. When you're getting a new part versus an old part, first thing you want to do is lay them right next to each other and take a picture of them. That way, in case you forget how something went and how it came off, I gotta just look at the picture. And these are the same. You know, this your new part number. Of course, it's like I've been telling y'all, man, but y'all don't want to listen. Y'all hard-headed. Where this thing made at? China. In case y'all don't know how to read. A lot of y'all flunked kindergarten twice. But I'm telling y'all, man, it's just German ultimate driving machine parts was made and produced in China, man. So cheap Chinese plastic. And everybody know what that logo is, right? That's Doughman. Doughman, you know. Somebody say Dorman, but I call it Doughman. So anyway, it's the same old part. And it'll tell you which side right here. It's the right side. So, yeah, and that's the Lane's made this one. Old lame ass part, you know. When you take them screws out, make sure you put them exactly how they came out. Sometimes them goofballs at the mechanic shop, you cross thread and stuff. So anyway, that's something else. But once you take them out, you're just gonna wiggle this out and pull it straight up. All right, now, y'all see what happened. And that's why the daggum window, I couldn't let it up with my hand. So once that old cheap Chinese plastic snapped and broke, cable came disconnected and got all wound up like it was angry. So now we're gonna cut this zip tie and put this mold in there exactly how it came out and put it back in, y'all. See these grooves in here? Now, when you was a toddler, at some point you had a tube where it had a circle, a triangle, and a square. You had to put the right one in the right hole. A lot of y'all still to this day, 50, 45 years later, be trying to put the square peg in the round hole. But make sure you got these grooves matched up with the grooves on the inside of this. Just take your time, just gonna wiggle it from left to right, and then you're gonna press down because it got to line up and be flush with this metal. If not, you're gonna be up the creek, homie. with a paddle in your butt. Now you see right here, these little slots, let's put it down. Make sure this plastic is in there before you torque down them screws, man. Make sure that it's sticking through there, otherwise it's not gonna line up right. So now we're gonna take these rubber boots off, these socks. Now, you see, it's gonna go in like this. But this that on the back side of here, right there. This that little clamp thing we had to push to allow that hole in the window to go through. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plug this back up, this window connector, and I'm gonna raise this up, okay? Because once you try to get that window thing on there, on the bottom, man, you're doing something ignorant, man. All right, so if you got a buddy with you, have them slowly raise the window. If not, man, you know, but you gotta do it from the driver's side, man, because the switch thing ain't right here. All right, so we got that on there. Make sure it's tight. It ain't gotta be monkey tight. All right, and you want this little, when I told you lift the window up halfway, you wanna make sure that little plastic thing, it sits right above the motor part. So when you got to doing it by yourself like me, just kind of eyeball it. When the white thing get above, slightly above that, that's about halfway. All right, and then we're gonna remove this, lower the window down, and it's got to go in this hole, man. And it's the little thing that snap and hold it right here. Little funny looking thing right there. Right there, that little funny looking thing. That's what the slot in the bottom of the window gonna slide in. All right, everybody, I've got to tell y'all something that's important. All right, so we got the window in there. We put it halfway down, and right in here, that's that thing. This the hole in the window. So we're just gonna come all the way down and line it up in there and snap it. And then we're gonna assemble everything back how it was. All right, as you can see, we got this back on there. All you do is press this on, man. This old fake sticky glue stuff, whatever you call it. Just gonna press it on, man. It's gonna do what it's supposed to do, man. You run your wire through your, this is your plug back into your switch, and this go back into your door handle. All right, so we got all that out the way. All ready. All right, so when you putting this back, your door handle opener thing, whatever you call it, you gotta push this down to relieve tension off of that thing, because it goes in there. Like, so you're gonna push this all the way down with one hand, and then you're gonna put the door handle on your knee. You're gonna hold it down, and when that little, it look like that, and it slides into these teeth on this. So you got to have the door handle closed. You got to have this pushed down so that the plunger can line up with this. Otherwise, your door handle ain't gonna work. All right, don't forget that. That's important. All right, so once you got that, this is your window switch. So you want to plug that back up in there and just push up in there. And this is your door lock actuator. So make sure that's up. That's gonna go in that hole right there. And you're gonna sink this down, then you're gonna push in. All these gonna line up with this. Put this in first. And then just make sure it's all lined up, and then just bump it in. Go in order like that. And when you get to these, feel first to make sure the little white plastic thing is lined up by the hole, otherwise they're gonna break out. Now we're gonna put this screw back in here. Then we're gonna put them two back in there. And then we're gonna, little brother New York showed me that one day, but it didn't work when he was showing me, but I tried it again and it worked. So just get your old zip tie and melt the plastic on here to complete the bond. There's all the tools you're gonna need. You're gonna need some masking tape, which I done already put up. You're gonna need 3 of these. This one is to take the panel off. These 2 to hold the window on the outside so it don't slide down while you tape it. You'll need the zip tie because that old cheap plastic handle gonna break on you. Or you can use the new piece of zip tie to come on the new regulator. I didn't think about that after the fact. Then you're gonna need your 10 millimeter. You're gonna need your T25 and your T15. You're gonna need your flashlight, your baby flathead screwdriver, and your impact. That's it. So, baby flathead, flashlight, T15, T15 bit, T25, 10 millimeter, zip ties, and these old panel tools so you don't tear up nothing. As you can see, it's back on there, man, and everything works. It's flush and everything. I don't know why this stuff is dissolving. It doesn't turn into like some kind of putty, you know? I don't get that. I don't even know what that is, man, but it feels gross. So all that is on there, flush. You know, there we go. I recommend testing it like we talked about before you put this panel back on.
Peace out, everybody. 335 BMW, man. Rear passenger windows all made in China, man. Just whatever part of China, I guess. That's what you're paying for. Know what I'm talking about? Y'all know what I'm saying?